Going on a bit. It is Luke, and today we're going to be talking about adding your first product to Amazon Seller Central, which will then lead on to a shipment, which is going to be a separate video. And this is just the process of adding a product listing into the catalog, because it's not as straightforward as you think. So let's just get started. So you've decided on the product you want to purchase, you've then ordered some, and you have received the goods, and now you're wondering, how do I add? So you want to go into catalog here. So imagine, like I always go, imagine like an Argos catalog or a catalog to like a department store, and they have a map, pictures and prices of all the products. It doesn't mean they're in stock, does it? Always. But that is the product they have added to their business to sell. It's the same thing. You are adding things into an inventory, but if you haven't got the stock, you can't make the sale. But it's making you see that catalog. So what happens after that? It goes into the catalog. It just goes into your inventory list. It's all the ASINs and everything you've ever sold, unless you delete them, of course. And some of them will be out of stock, some will be in stock, and that is basically what this is. So once it's in there in your catalog, you don't need to go and add again. So don't keep adding every time you send in like 5 this week, 5 next week, 5 the week after. Don't keep adding, because that will just muck up it will basically start adding you under multiple under multiple versions of yourself under the same listing. So never do that. Always just go into the manage inventory or manage FBA inventory and replenish the original product that you added. You see? So only ever do this once. The only exception to that is if you delete it completely from your catalog. Of course, you're going to have to re-add it. But that was just an overview in case I know everyone does that. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and use the ASIN. So the ASIN is just like a unique identifier for every product on Amazon, like that Amazon sells. And the reason you want to do that is because there's so many similar titled products. You know, if you sell hundreds and hundreds of, there's so many products so similar, sometimes in name and picture, you can accidentally do the wrong things and sell the wrong product under the wrong ASIN and all that kind of thing. So by doing it like this, you just copy. Basically, if you record this when you're recording your data, it will save you a hell of a lot of effort, everything, headache, heart pain. Heart pain's not even a word. What you get what I mean? Make refunds if you end up sending stuff wrong. It's really important to do that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to paste it in, which I've done, and we're going to go ahead and click enter. So this is just an example product, but what you can do is obviously you can go ahead and click that and check that is, that's the product I wanted to sell. And then what you want to go ahead and do is you want to go ahead and click new. So if you can't do that, it means you're gated. You can't sell it, but we're going to assume that you've done your research, you've done your analysis, and you now know before you even bought the product that you could sell it. You've now bought the product, and now you're looking to create the listing. So then you want to click sell this product, and it will give you a product detailed page like this. So this is basically like sort of building your listing, almost like building the details behind it. And I know it says I already have a product in my inventory, but it's an example, so I'll delete this after. You can see down here there's two options, merchant and FBA. And for this example, I'm always going to use FBA, so you want to make sure that is ticked. You already selected that, and the price I'm going to always put in a little bit higher than what it says here. The reasons is that there's a lot of reasons, but I'd say always do it because just one of them is there's a chance that if Amazon lose your inventory, you can probably get a little bit more back from them potentially, or if the product goes up in price by the time that you book your stock in, maybe and it takes a week to get in. If it goes up in price, so let's say it went to $8.99 to sell. Well, as soon as your product books in, it's like, what was the lowest? As soon as your product books in at this, you're selling. Amazon will list you on that listing straight away. You have no notice; it'll just be gone. So it's happening. And you want to not be selling it at $7.86. You want to be selling it at $8.99, but because you're taking an hour and a half to get home after seeing the email, you've got to, you've made sales now at making less profit than you should. So always over the top, so that any changes that happen between now and stock getting into Amazon, it doesn't matter. And then I can go ahead and act on this once it books into Amazon, okay? So that's why it's very important. So you go save and finish. And then it will look like this. Now, on this example, it just says Amazon barcodes only, and sometimes it says manufacturer's barcodes, and it gives you a drop down. Always, in my opinion, use Amazon barcodes only, because it basically puts a unique sticker. You have to create a unique sticker through this to prove, and what it does is it proves it's yours. It gives you a unique FNSKU label, and number, and that number correlates to you and your account. If you use the merchant's barcode, it literally is just sending the product as it is with the barcode that exists from, you know, Apple or whatever it would have been, or in this instance Nando's, the literal one that you see at, you know, that you scan at the checkouts. And it's just, there's a lot of reasons why you don't want to do that. I would say just best practice, start with always using the Amazon barcodes, and if you want to look into stuff later, you can. And once you've done that, which here we can't change anything, you click continue. It requires information here, dangerous goods. So you can go ahead and read this and take your time and click yes and start playing around, but is it a battery, and has it got any dangerous goods? And that's what I like about a lot of consumer goods, is that it's not any of those. So I say no. But I have done products with batteries and stuff in before. It's just a little bit more complicated. And then you'll go save and continue. And then what that does is that leads you in to your shipment. You don't have to. I could go off now and leave it, but this leads you into your shipment. So this, then in theory, you could go create a new shipment plan and start the shipment side of things, which would be a completely separate video which you can follow yourselves. But if you just wanted to add a product to your catalog, you would do that, and then you would just click off. And then once it's been added, like it has now, you don't have to go and add anything back, this product again and again and again to catalog. The only instance you have to do that is if you delete it from your catalog, and of course you've got to then re-add it. And that is as simple as it is to create a catalog listing. And of course that's not creating your own unique listing from scratch. That's just doing the arbitrage, you know, online retail, where you're finding pre-existing listings and then you're adding against those. This is the example, and that's for all, obviously, online arbitrage, retail, wholesale, so on. So now you know it. It's not that difficult, but sometimes all of these different options on Amazon are a little bit confusing, so it's just to break that down for you. And yeah, have a good day and see you on the next one.